We are live now again. Let me just take a moment to see if I can send everyone to the new chat here. Oh, chat is disabled. Okay. Well, sorry, folks, if you can't see the new chat. Anyway, so yeah, fuck. Not sure what happened there. Not sure what the fuck happened there, but my whole fucking stream, Rumble Studio just yeeted all my streams in the middle of being live here. So let me see. Make sure I'm live now again. Yeah, Rumble Studio. Fuck off. Yeah, I may have to ditch Rumble Studio again because if this don't work, so the last couple streams I was trying to stream in um Chrome, and this time I'm trying it in Edge because I thought Chrome was my fix. I really did. I thought Chrome was my fix. Damn. I don't know if anybody's watching. I had at least 9 viewers when the stream crashed, and now nothing. Now nobody. Nobody's here. Awesome. Well, fuck. And of course, everything I had was on fucking Chrome. I'm hoping this shit will share to Edge. So please say hi in the chat if you're here. But nobody's here. Let me do this. Do. Kind of sharing the new stream link. All right. Let's try that. Oh, what the fuck? Okay. I guess they've had so many so locals. If you're over there on locals, look, I guess they've had so many DDoS attacks over on locals that they're now pulling out all the fucking stops to verify people's identity and shit. So yeah, Sanglant had said something about locals being screwed up earlier. I wish I still had that comment to bring up on the screen while I'm talking about it, but unfortunately, do not have that comment right now because that was on the old chat on the old stream. So we're gonna try this one more fucking time, and I'm gonna have to check periodically that we're still live here, and hopefully Microsoft Edge works. But let's go ahead and kick this back off. This is another thing I liked StreamYard better for. Okay, let me mute myself, and I'm just gonna keep my other fucking my live stream live on my own screen there in the background so I can see if I drop out again. This is highly annoying. I'm gonna have to go back to StreamYard eventually, probably, if this doesn't work with Edge. I'm gonna have to use Microsoft Edge. I hate fucking this, but oh well. All right, folks. So please say hi in the chat if you're there. I really need the encouragement that someone's still watching this. So we're gonna go back to this. This is Ann Coulter on Bill Maher. I don't know if any of this even played on the first stream. Um, but yeah, I'm talking about media narratives in regards to the Kansas City shooting. I was saying that while this conversation that you're about to hear has a lot to do with race, I think it's less to do with race and more about media narratives. Just we happen to have a current media narrative, a current push for diversity that involves a lot of racial conversations. And I think Ann Coulter really hits something on the head here. Let's listen to what she has to say. Wow. So yeah, this was Friday. And so Bill Maher's like, "Oh yeah, yeah, you can predict the future." Well, it turns out she kind of can. She kind of can. So this was again one aspect of the media narrative. Um Let me bring this up here. Bring this up here. Oh no, I can't do that. Fuck. Okay, let's try this. This is dumb. I'm gonna have to try it this way. All right. No. Okay. Let's try this. Stop screen shares. I'm gonna have to do these one at a time. Okay. So this is on Twitter. Three shooters arrested by cops at the Kansas City Chiefs parade. This was posted on Twitter the day of the parade. Sangland 86. No, please don't go mute. No, it's not your fault. It's my fault. There is something seriously wrong with my Chrome browser, apparently. I think that's what's killing the stream. Three shooters arrested by cops at the Kansas City Chiefs parade, and this is the right scoop. I don't even know. Catholic Christian political blogger. Okay. But this is a photo that was taken, and this person, and I believe this person are the two that are still in custody. I don't know about this person. Well, and of course now you can't see my fucking cursor on the screen. Oh, here we go. So this person and this person, I believe, are the two still in custody. I'm not sure about this person. Um, but it says three shooters arrested by cops at the Kansas City Chiefs parade. Now, this narrative of three shooters, it quickly escalated. Like the narrative escalated. Uh-huh. And let me bring this up. All right, I'm going to have to be doing this. And so now then this person, okay, so this is from the New York Post. This person here, dear Lord, with the ads. This is part of the problem. Kansas City Chiefs fan seen in cuffs was not the shooter. So this person's picture of this person being arrested that you see on the screen here. Um, a lot of Twitter and Facebook posts were pointing this person out as one of the three people you saw in this post. Obviously, that person is not any of those three people. Oh, dear Lord. Go away. Pop up ads. Holy crap. Yeah, this person is not any of those three people. So this person is Denton Loudermill, who was photographed in handcuffs after the mass shooting at the Victory Parade, has spoken out to clear his name. I just want to clear my name that I had nothing to do with anything. I was just enjoying myself like everyone else, but other than that, I was out there not to harm anybody. I was just enjoying the parade like everyone else," he said. Loudermill, who had had several drinks on the tragic day, was detained for being intoxicated and not moving fast enough, not moving away from the crime scene, KMBC reported. Mr. Denton had several drinks, but so did 500,000 other people, including some of the players. It's not a crime. It doesn't make you a mass shooter. So this person did nothing wrong, and they've had their name smeared by the fast acting people on the internet as a potential shooter, and he was not. He was not involved. Okay, let me. Why is it showing? Don't do that. Go away. Oh, dear Lord. Did it do that the first time? Oh, dear Lord. Okay. So I'm having some issues with this browser thing. This is insane. I'm sorry. Here we go. Let's do here's one of the guys who shot up the Super Bowl parade. He says he was just being stupid. Just pulled out a gun and started shooting. Lindell Mays, 22, is one of two adults charged with second-degree murder, 2 counts of armed criminal action, and the unlawful use of a weapon in connection with the shooting. Stupid man just pulled out a gun, started shooting. Shouldn't have done that, just being stupid. Okay. And then down here we see the other guy, Dominic Miller. Now, one of the reasons I bring up Dominic Miller is there's another part to this story. The way that this story, so this isn't your typical mass shooting, right? So again, going back to the whole media white guy, black guy narrative here, there is another part to this story. And we're going to hear this from Fox Kansas City News here. We're going to hear a little bit of this story. One of the early reports that we were hearing was that there was an individual who was witnessed at the parade after everybody had cleared out, who had his jaw blown off by one of the weapons. And we're going to hear from that individual right now.
Malik, nearly
And he happens to be one of the best friends of the Dominic individual that you just saw.
a week later, the pieces of this story slowly, and we do mean slowly, coming together.
And another piece of this puzzle, John and Christelle, Marquez Harris, as you mentioned, shot in the neck, that bullet traveling through his mouth. Tonight, compelled to speak after his friend was charged with 4 felonies, including second-degree murder. The question is, did his friend, Dominic Miller, fire in self-defense?
No.
These scenes of chaos are all too familiar sight 6 days after the Chiefs' rally was marred by gunfire that took 1 life and wounded countless others. But they were even more real for Marquez Harris.
We was going to the parade, and my little brother...
Oh, yeah, he's had his jaw blown off. That's why
Harris
he's talking
says
like
Lindell
that.
Mays was staring down his 15-year-old friend.
He's got his mouth
That 15-year-old asking Mays if there was a problem. That's when Mays, according to Harris, started to talk trash to the teenager, and Harris interjected.
And I pushed my little brother out the way. As soon as I pushed my little brother out the way, the dude stepped forward and proceeded to shoot me. I seen the firearm. I turned my face, and then he hit me in the back of the neck and went through my lip as I was turning away from him.
That's when mayhem ensued. Harris says after he was shot by Mays, that is when his friend Dominic Miller fired his gun. Only after Lindell Mays fired his weapon, and only in defense of Harris. The state alleges one of Miller's bullets is the one that hit Lisa Lopez Galvan.
Oh.
This image here from TMZ Sports shows the moments when Harris is holding his face after being shot.
After I got shot, I instantly, like, I walked off looking for help. I was looking for help. And then I sat there, after I got help, I just sat there and just framed for a second.
According to prosecutors, Mays admits he not only pulled his gun first, but that he fired first, and he advanced on the man.
Okay, but here's the thing. Okay, let me just bring that down for just a moment, and let me just say, you know, that
Malik, nearly a week later,
the local news. Well, was it in self-defense? No, it wasn't in self-defense. You were shooting because the guy just shot your buddy, right? That's really what just happened. I mean, if you were shooting in self-defense, like you would have shot the guy, like you would have got him, and you would have got him on the ground. You wouldn't have. Your bullets wouldn't have hit innocent women and children. That's the fucking problem. And I don't care if you pulled the weapon in self-defense. The same fucking problem with Alec Baldwin and the Rust shooting. You're responsible for everything downrange of your weapon. If you shoot something that you didn't intend to shoot, I'm sorry. You're still fucking responsible for that. Yeah, maybe these guys didn't go to the parade asking to get in a gunfight. And one came to them. Unfortunate. And this guy got shot in the face. Very unfortunate. I feel for him, and I feel for the other guy. But you know who I feel for more? The family of the lady who was fucking killed. Who didn't bring a gun to a fucking parade and open fire. Even if it was return fire. If you're gonna shoot someone in one of these scenarios, don't do it in the crowd. Use some common fucking sense and make sure you're on fucking target. We always like the myth of the good guy with the gun. And let me tell you, I love fucking gun rights. And I hate the fact that a lot of people have used the tragedies of that day to promote political agendas. The last thing I want to do is get all evil about gun rights and get all pissed off at people who carry weapons for protection and who have the possibility of stopping a shooter like that. You should have every right to pull your gun and shoot a guy who's shooting at people. But you got to make sure you're not shooting innocent people when you return fire. This was careless. This turned into a shootout in a crowd of millions of people. At some point, you just tackle them like the people in the crowd did. And I don't know. I'm assuming it was the other guy that got tackled. The first guy, the Mays, Lindell Mays, the 23-year-old. But the fact that the other guy, Dominic Miller, was an 18-year-old at the Super Bowl parade with a gun on him. I ain't got no problem with 18-year-olds with guns. I ain't got no problem with people concealed carrying. But you got to be fucking responsible. And I don't know, maybe this kid, black, white, whatever culture he identifies as being from, maybe he wasn't mature enough to know how to handle his weapon properly. And because of that, an innocent woman is dead and there are children in the hospital. Now, I heard most of the people in the hospital are pretty close to recovering. But I bring this whole story up because here we are a week out, and we're just now getting the picture developing of what actually happened that day. Our media here in the Kansas City metro area are just now talking about it. For days, we were told it was juveniles. It was juveniles. And that's why the identities of the shooters had not been released. Well, now we know these two men were 18 and 23. They weren't juveniles. They just weren't straight white men. And unfortunately, after all the spiel I had earlier about not wanting to make this a race issue, ultimately, Ann Coulter was fucking right. For some reason, we had a mass shooting that became one of the biggest stories in America of the last week. And they're just not going to tell us who's involved and what happened. Just not going to tell us until they absolutely had to. They couldn't shovel over it anymore. They couldn't cover it up. They couldn't say it was juveniles. They couldn't say it was white men. And eventually, they had to actually press charges against those responsible. And when that happens, well, those court filings are then made public. They couldn't shovel shit on top of their story anymore. And now we know the truth. We know the truth that some guys had some respect issues. One decided to pull a gun and start popping off rounds. His buddy pulls his gun, starts popping off rounds. And now over a dozen people have been in the hospital and one woman lost her life. And we're expected to believe that this is a problem with guns and not a problem with people who believe violence is a proper way to handle a disagreement about disrespect in a public space. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know what else to say about that. Thank you for indulging me on that. So today, the brother of the president, Jim Biden, was testifying before Congress in a closed door session. I'm hoping we're going to get some actual news out of that. But as part of that story, part of what's going on with that story, over the last 24 hours, the FBI has made an arrest. The FBI has made an arrest of Alexander Smirnov, who was a confidential source, basically a confidential informant of the FBI, hired by our government to provide intel into what was going on over in Ukraine. And he was in contact, allegedly, with Russian intelligence, and has now been accused of manufacturing the entire Hunter Biden story, the entire pay-for-play scheme, allegedly has now come from this one guy, and let's check out the Today Show here and see what they have to say about it.
All right. This morning, we're also learning more about the arrest of that FBI informant tied to the Hunter Biden case. Prosecutors now revealing that informant was in contact with Russian intelligence officials. NBC's Capitol Hill correspondent Ryan Nobles joins us with more. Ryan, good morning. What's the latest?
Yeah, Savannah, good morning. Alexander Smirnov appeared yesterday in a Las Vegas federal court to face charges over allegedly lying to the FBI, particularly about claiming that Joe Biden accepted bribes to benefit Hunter's businesses. Now, it's a claim that's central to the impeachment probe and one often repeated by Republicans. But the bombshell came when David Weiss, that same special counsel who has charged Hunter Biden, alleged that Smirnov lied and that he admitted to working with Russian intelligence officials involved in passing on a story about Hunter Biden. Now, prosecutors allege the contacts were, quote, extensive and extremely recent, and that he's, quote, actively peddling new lies that could impact the U.S. election.
Actively peddling new lies that
overnight,
could impact
Hunter
the
Biden's
election.
attorney filing new court motions to dismiss the criminal tax-related charges that he's facing, arguing that they are improper and that the prosecutors bowed to political pressure. We have reached out to the special counsel's office for comment, but at this point have not heard back. Savannah.
So, Ryan, this informant was key to the House impeachment inquiry. So we'll see what effect that has. But it goes on. And actually, President Biden's brother is set to testify behind closed doors today.
Yeah, that's right, Savannah. We focused a lot of our attention on Hunter Biden, of course, the president's son, but House Republicans are equally as interested in James Biden's business dealings, the president's brother. They believe that James traded on his brother's name and landed lucrative business contracts that he would not otherwise have won if he were not related to Joe Biden. But they've yet to show any hard evidence that Joe Biden's role as a public official directly benefited James Biden's work or that the president was enriched by that work. And that's why Republicans are hoping that
they literally have checks written from Jim to Joe. They literally have checks written. Okay, so let me break this down a little bit more for you. So now the media is claiming, I want you to get this. I want you to really understand this. The media is claiming that the entire impeachment case, that this guy was so key to the impeachment case. Now I want you to listen to this next clip here. This is from the recount, and they're, left wing. I want you to watch this. This is Representative Jim Jordan being questioned by reporters about this arrest. And I want you to hear the narrative. Hear all the reporters say, oh, it's all lies now. Listen to the reporters.
You said that this informant now charged with some of the most corroborating evidence. You said that in an interview last month.
It did corroborate what I just said there, but it doesn't change the facts.
Those allegations from the FT 1023 are now found to all be lies. So how does that impact the investigation?
I think you should ask the FBI why they were so reluctant. They told us if we don't, when we wanted to see the 1023, said this could jeopardize national security, the safety of this confidential human source. You can't know his name. They didn't want to show it to us. Then they finally did. I mean, this is a guy they paid, I think, since 2010. So 14 years they've been paying this guy. And he's a trusted source. And now we find out. Plus, I think there's sort of when Christopher Steele lied to the FBI about President Trump, he gets paid more. When Smirnov lies to the FBI about President Biden, he gets indicted. I mean, go figure. So it doesn't change the fundamental facts.
It doesn't change the facts. It does change the facts. Those are no longer facts. Those are not true.
See?
The four things I just said,
no
they're
longer
absolutely
facts.
true.
But
Did Hunter Biden get put on the board of Burisma? Yes. Was he paid $1 million a year? Yes. Did Joe Biden condition the release of tax money for the firing of the prosecutor who was applying the pressure? Yes. All four of those things are facts. Absolutely. Regardless of what the confidential human source may or may not have said.
Okay, so now let me just bring that down for a minute. And let me just address this a little bit. Okay, so you got the recount, you have the mainstream media trying to downplay the entire impeachment trial as hinging on these facts that were being corroborated by this FBI informant. But here's the thing. We got Biden's own business partner, Bob Alinsky, testifying before Congress, saying that the president benefited financially from influence peddling. You have Devin Archer, Hunter Biden's business partner, testifying before Congress and then going on to Tucker Carlson. You watch that interview here. We watched that interview with Tucker Carlson interviewing Devin Archer, and Devin Archer flat out said, yes, we were trying to sell influence. We were trying to sell meetups with Joe Biden. Joe Biden was on the phone in the background, warning people that if they didn't pay us, there'd be problems. So here you have the media doubling down that, though this impeachment is a nothing burger because it was all Russian lies filtered by this criminal who got arrested in Vegas. Or did they set this guy up? How do we know? How do we even know that he's admitted to these things? These are allegations being presented by the FBI. We know we've been lied to by the FBI before. We know the FBI has downplayed many of these issues before. Anyway, let's do this. Okay, let's just move on to some more fun stuff. Let's move on to some more fun stuff here. Oh, wait. Wait a minute. Let's move. Let's see. You know what? I don't have my gender crazy of the week graphic. Can I upload it real quick? Do I have it somewhere on my computer here? Surely I've got it handy somewhere. It is not in my downloads folder. Is it in here? Nope. I can't believe I've lost it. Nope, there it is. Found it. Found it. Found it. Found it. See if this overlay works here. Create graphic. See if this works. Nope, it's tiny. It's tiny. Gender crazy of the week. It's tiny. I don't know how to make it bigger. Try that. Nope, that just made it small and above. Okay, so gender crazy of the week. Sorry, folks. I had to try it. We'll get something working eventually. All right. So this is the gender crazy of the week, folks. This is thanks to I am yes, you are no on Twitter. Let's watch this video here.
How many genders are there?
It's a spectrum, so like a lot.
Can you name me a few?
You can be man, female. You could be there's so many. A demi girl, a demi boy.
This is a stupid question.
What is this?
How many are there?
I don't want to participate anymore.
Uh-oh.
I think there's really an answer to that, given that gender is
not
kind of
an
a
answer.
social construct, so it's different for every person and also in different cultures.
So wait a minute. If it's different for every person and every culture. Hang on, I'll expand on that in just a minute. Let's finish listening.
As many as you want to believe.
As many as you want to believe. Holy shit. This is getting better and better, but with every one of these crazy answers.
Like a few?
So there's a whole spectrum of them.
Whole spectrum.
Obviously,
There are many.
Okay, but what if I don't want to believe in a spectrum?
There's a lot.
Oh dear God, what the fuck is on your face, woman?
So
Name me a few.
there is male, female, genderqueer, non-binary. Obviously, the whole trans community is counted as a.
Oh wow, I don't know. There's a lot. I know there's like.
Name me them.
I know there's cis. Obviously female, male.
Cis
trans.
and female and male and trans. Cis and female and male and trans. So, look, those were a lot of interesting answers. And they're interesting to me because from what it sounds like most of those children were saying was that it's a very personal and very perspective based answer for one person. So if for one person it could be 50 and another person could be 70, well, why couldn't it be 2? It could definitely be 2. It's different for different people and different cultures. Well, I know there are a lot of people culturally here in the United States that believe it to be 2. Why is that any more offensive to people than the difference between 30 and 50? Or 10 and 50? Really? So it's like if you're one of the people who only believe that there's like 10 to 12, but yet you have Eaglethorn who believes he's a birdkin, or the bird self believes that bird self is a birdkin, right? Then you're being just as offensive to them. Oh, but wait, that might just be a mental illness. Oh, okay. Well, I better be careful because we are on Facebook and Twitch and YouTube. I don't think Twitter or Locals or Rumble care if I say those kinds of things, but you need to be careful on some of these other big tech platforms. Cheers to everyone else out there watching. It's a damn shame. All right, so let's see. Let's laugh at this woman.
Just shot me in the face with anal gland.
Let's laugh at this woman real quick.
My cat just shot me in the face with anal gland discharge, and I'm not being dramatic at all when I tell you that I don't think I'm ever gonna fucking recover from this.
So if you didn't hear that, I'm gonna replay the beginning of this.
My cat just shot me in the face with anal gland discharge.
Her cat just shot her in the face with anal gland discharge. Oh, hey, we got Shut Up I Can Cook over on YouTube. Welcome. Cheers, Cookie. Good having you in the chat again.
And I'm not being dramatic at all when I tell you that I don't think I'm ever gonna fucking recover from this. It hit me in the mouth.
It hit me in the mouth. Oh, God.
It hit me in the fucking mouth, dude. It all happened
In
so
the
fast. I
mouth.
was laying in bed watching TikToks. She hopped up onto the bed. She got on my fiance's side of the bed. My fiance is allergic to her, so I tried to push her off of my fiance's side of the bed, and her butthole was facing me. And as I pushed her, this white stuff shot out of her, and I felt something touch my lip. It touched my lip.
In the
I ran to
mouth.
the bathroom, and I washed my entire face with antibacterial soap 4 times in a row, and it still doesn't feel like I'm clean. And luckily it didn't get in my hair, but it got all over our pillowcases and all over the headboard of
Oh,
our bed. And it is the
no.
most foul smell I have ever come across in my entire life. It doesn't smell like poop even. It smells like ass. It smells like ass. And
Wait, ass smells worse than poop? Does ass smell worse than poop? One's in the chat if ass smells worse than poop.
I was a CNA. I've had people piss on me, shit on me, bleed on me. If it comes out of the body, it's gotten on me. And this is still the grossest thing that has ever happened to me in my entire
Okay, now this chick's just listing off my fetishes. No, I'm just kidding.
fucking life.
And again, with the weird fucking nose piercings. What the fuck? What the fuck, women? What is up with the fucking nose piercings? Okay, so let's do this. That's the fun stuff. We'll real quick skim these last two articles. If I don't get pop-up ads out the wazoo, which I am. Go away, pop-up ads. Okay. So, one news story we didn't cover was saying what says, was that SNL's Pat? uh, so one of the news stories we didn't really cover last week that I did find interesting, I'll just kind of skim this real quick. This is an update to a story that happened last week. National Archives working to clean up a red powder dumped on the Constitution display by protesters. This was updated. Wait, what? Why was this still trending today? I thought this was updated. This was updated February 15th. This was updated last Thursday. Okay, so we don't need to update that again. Yeah, somebody dumped red powder on the Constitution. Okay, let's go to this one. Okay, so this was Jesus, pop-up ads, pop-up ads, pop-up ads. Close all the ads. Okay. Welcome to the Hotel California case, the trial over handwritten lyrics to an Eagles classic. So, folks, I don't know if anyone out there is an Eagles fan, but I did find this story somewhat interesting because how often does classic rock lead to a criminal trial? Not very often. So let's see here. In the mid 1970s, the Eagles were working on a spooky new song. On a lined yellow pad, Don Henley and Glenn Frey jotted thoughts about a dark desert highway and a lovely place. Yeah. Ominous undertones. Something on ice. The song Hotel California became one of rock's most indelible singles, and nearly a half century later, those handwritten pages of lyrics in the making have become the center of an unusual criminal trial set to open Wednesday. Rare book dealer Glenn Horowitz, former Rock and Roll Hall of Fame curator Craig Inciardi, and memorabilia seller Edward Kozinski are charged with conspiring to own and try to sell the manuscripts of Hotel California and other Eagle hits without the right to do so. Here's the three men in handcuffs. The three have pleaded not guilty, and their lawyers have said the men committed no crime with the papers, which they acquired via a writer who worked with the Eagles. But the Manhattan DA's office, so like Letitia James, I'm just kidding, said the defendants connived to obscure the document's disputed ownership despite knowing that Don Henley said the pages were stolen. Clashes over other valuable collectibles abound, but criminal trials like this are rare. Many fights are resolved in private in lawsuits or with agreements to return the items. If you can avoid prosecution by handing over the thing, most people just hand it over. Travis McDade, a University of Illinois law professor who studies rare documents disputes. Of course, the case of the Eagles' manuscripts is distinctive in other ways too. The prosecutor's star witness is indeed that. Don Henley is expected to testify between Eagles tour stops. The non-jury trial could offer a peek into the band's creative process and life in the fast lane of God damn. Oh shit. 70s stardom. At issue are over 80 pages of draft lyrics from the blockbuster 1976 Hotel California album, including words to the chart-topping, Grammy-winning title Cut. It features one of classic rock's most greatest riffs and off-quoted lines. They're not charged with actually stealing the documents, nor is anyone else, but prosecutors will still have to establish that the documents were stolen. The defense maintains that's not true. Much turns on the Eagles' interactions with Ed Sanders, a writer who also co-founded the rock band The Fugs. He worked in the late 70s and early 80s on an authorized Eagles biography that was never published. Sanders isn't charged in the case. A phone message seeking comment was left for him. He sold the pages to Horowitz, who then sold them to Inciardi and Kosinski. Horowitz has handled huge, rare book and archive deals. He's been entangled with some ownership spats before. One involved papers linked to Gone with the Wind author Margaret Mitchell. It was settled. Inciardi worked on notable exhibitions for the Cleveland Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Kosinski has been a principal in Gotta Have It Collectibles, known for auctioning celebrities' personal possessions. So personal that McDonough unsuccessfully sued to try to stop a sale that included her latex briefs. Cookie says that I'm cussing on purpose. I always fucking cuss on purpose. What the hell? Henley told a grand jury he'd never gave the biographer the lyrics, according to court filings from Kosinski's lawyers. But defense lawyers have signaled that they plan to probe Henley's memory of the time. We believe that Mr. Henley voluntarily provided the lyrics to Mr. Sanders, attorney Scott Edelman said in court. Sanders told Horowitz in 2005, while working on the Eagles book, he was sent whatever papers he wanted from Henley's home in Malibu, according to the indictment. Then Kosinski's business offered some pages at auction in 2012. Henley's attorneys came knocking, and Horowitz, Inciardi, and Sanders, in varying combinations, began batting around alternative versions of the manuscript's provenance, the indictment says. In one story, Sanders found pages discarded in a backstage dressing room. In other stories, he got them from a stage assistant or while amassing, quote, a lot of material related to the Eagles from different people. In yet another, he obtained them from Glenn Frey, an account that would make this all go away once and for all, Horowitz suggested in 2017. But Frey had died the year before. He merely needs gentle handling and reassurance that he's not going to the can. Horowitz emailed Inciardi during a 2012 exchange about getting Sanders, quote, explanation shaped into communication to auctioneers, the indictment says. Sanders supplied or signed off on some of the varying explanations according to the indictment, and it's unclear what he may have conveyed verbally, but he apparently rejected at least the dressing room tale. Kosinski forwarded one explanation, approved by Sanders, to Henley's lawyer. Kosinski also assured Sotheby's auction house that the musician had, quote, no claim to the documents and asked to keep potential bidders in the dark about Henley's complaints, the indictment says. Sotheby's listed the song lyrics in a 2016 auction, but withdrew them after learning that the ownership was in question. Sotheby's isn't charged in the case and has declined to comment. Henley bought some draft lyrics privately from Gotta Have It for $8,500 in 2012, when he also began filing police reports, according to court filings. Defense lawyers claim Henley found star-struck prosecutors to take up his cause instead of pursuing a civil suit. The DA's office worked closely with Henley's legal team, and an investigator even yearned for backstage passes for an Eagles show until a prosecutor said the idea was completely inappropriate, Kosinski's lawyers said in court papers. Prosecutors have rebuffed questions about their motivations as, quote, a conspiracy theory rather than a legal defense. Last year, they wrote in court papers, quote, it's the defendants, not the prosecutors, who are on trial. Wow. So yeah, that there we have it. We have the Eagles, especially Don Henley himself. So Stanglin says more often than you'd think, the labels just don't promote it. Yep. And then Shut Up I Can Cook says, "Let me read this. My voice is soothing and captivating." I think that's a slam at my voice not being very fucking soothing. I mean, sure. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it is now past 7 p.m. Central. And even though we had a good five or so minutes of stream issues, let's say, that is our show for today. I don't really have any other news stories prepared or any other content. I will say that at some point this weekend, I'm going to be streaming on my gaming channel. So I'm gonna have to update down in the description. I think I may have went live a little too fast and didn't add any of my links in the description. But if you can, please click the thumbs up. Look for me over on my gaming channel over on Rumble, or check me out on Twitch. I also stream my gaming to Twitch. But if you're on my locals account should have a link somewhere to my gaming channel. Oh, hey, we got Demon's Wrath in the chat. Welcome. Cheers. Says, okay, so they're selling stuff they might not have had the right to sell. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of what it sounds like. Cheers and welcome. It's kind of what it sounds like, but also, it's like one of the accounts says that may have been found in a garbage can or may have been discarded. Either way, here we are, 40 years down the road from the writing of Hotel California. I don't know. Yeah. What Sanglant was saying right there. Possession is 9/10 something. And I think you got to prove they were stolen. And I don't think it's going to be an easy task to prove they were stolen. Anywho, folks, that's our show for today. And yeah, apparently Edge seemed to work fine. We're still live. So I think I'm just going to have to use Edge to stream for a while. Either that or go back to StreamYard. If I go back to StreamYard, then this won't be on all 6 platforms. I'll have to pick which 2 I want to do in addition to Rumble. I may go back to just Facebook, Twitter, and Rumble. But I'll be thinking about that over the next couple days. Like I said, at some point this weekend, I'm going to do a gaming stream. So check me out on Mild's gaming channel over on Rumble. And I'm going to try to update the links down in the description as soon as I'm done with this. I got to get some dinner going, and then I'll try to update all the links. So if you want to come back to this video tomorrow, the links should be updated and proper, and you can find me on all 6 of those platforms that you'll see down in the description at that point in time. But in the meantime, click like, click follow on whatever platform you're watching me on. If you're new here, please watch a second video on whatever platform you're watching me on. Those streaming platforms really love it if you watch more than one video. So I would appreciate that. Thank you so much. I think that's about it, folks. Take care of yourselves. Take care of one another, especially if you find yourself in a big crowd with people popping off rounds. Do your best to take care of other people, and don't just pull out your gun and blindly fire into the crowd at whatever's shooting back at you. Yeah, take care of yourselves. Take care of one another. Outlast those haters. Outlast the haters. That's the important part. Outlasting the haters. Don't get any on you. And if you do, Rub that shit in real good. See you 6 p.m. Central this Saturday right here on Miles Culture Plate. Catch you then. Take care, buddy. Good night.